Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are we doing? I'm so sorry. Thank you for being patient with me. I was attempting to do the wet look and get all cute, literally just running in from the treadmill. And I have my lovely success story standing by, so that's going to be fun. I'm literally just chatting with her right now. Day 3, how are we doing? How are we doing? Day 3, I'm going to be dropping you something brand new, something very fun. However, thank you. I was really trying. Chance. I was really trying. 10 minutes ago, I was just on the treadmill. No, we're doing our best. I'm gonna let my girly in. And we're gonna get started. Oh, we have a couple people trying to come in, so I'm just gonna let them in really quick. Perfect. Say hi. Just did your meditation, loved it. Oh my gosh, I love that, Lindsay. I love that. Okay, so we're gonna just honestly hop right in to the live success story. So I'm gonna have my girl call me. A big part of today is to give you inspiration. My girl that's coming on quite literally went from her person not even wanting to be seen or for other people to know that they were spending time together, not wanting anything to do with her, looking her dead in the eye and being like, I don't want nothing to do with you, to now she is engaged and they're literally getting ready to leave tomorrow to go for a 1-month holiday to Bora Bora and then another 1 month to India. And she's getting ready to plan her wedding right now. And this man has done a complete 180. And it's all because she activated her goddess energy. She stepped into the high level, high value woman that she was always meant to be, but he was not able to pick up on before because she was not in her goddess energy. She was in her low self-concept energy. And when you're in your low self-concept energy, you actually repel the man rather than attract. When we flipped that, she attracted him. Hello, my love. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good as well. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure everyone can hear her. And I'm going to mute my phone so that it doesn't go off like a hooker's phone, as usual. Always struggling. My clients love me and I love them. But I want to be fully present here. And sometimes when the bings go off, my head pops up like a dog and I start looking around everywhere. I'm like, okay, someone needs me. Time to go back into coaching mode. But I want to be fully present with the success story. So hello, it's been a while. We've been talking about this for ages and it's finally here. And I hope it's already sounding like your inner conversations because I know you practice being on my live success story. So I have a very special guest today, and she utilized Manifestation University. She utilized some personal coaching with not only myself, but the coaching with Kim and Sam as well to be able to facilitate this incredible result. She had a lot of circumstances and things in her way from her email to me while I was sitting with my family at dinner all the way to where we are now. We have overcome a lot of circumstances together, a lot of obstacles together. We've overcome like family objections. I think there was also a little bit of limiting beliefs there. We've overcome friend objections. We've overcome objections about her person. It feels like we've conquered Mount Kilimanjaro together. And this has been a long time coming, but it goes to show that although I do really live and breathe and preach by the 90-day rule, that your result will come as quickly as you can mentally get behind it. And this woman was in lights out communication. And after a few months in, all of a sudden, she was one of those people that she had to deal with a lot of silence before her movement started. And that's because she had a lot of limiting beliefs against him. And, we were just hanging on to some stories on him, which is totally fine and normal and natural. But as we started to allow her to feel more comfortable and more free to practice letting them go, switching them, and we did that in a variety of different ways because she was definitely one of my clients that she knows I say this lovingly. She got her money's worth on her packages. I tell you, my day one girl, we were texting essays I literally muted my phone. I have no idea why that happened. We were literally texting Essay. She needed a ton of reassurance. I believe she now has a PhD in manifestation similar to myself, because we were pulling out techniques from every which direction to make her feel more comfortable and given her all the information she needed. And from where she started and where she is now, it's a totally different ball game. And I've brought her on here to inspire and motivate not only just you guys, but everyone, that literally anything is possible as long as you can put your mind to it, as long as you're open and willing to do the work and see things differently. I've got the tools in the tool belt. I just need a little bit of a co-creating process. I need you to also work with me. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to shut up and let our guest of honor talk, because that's the more important part. And I'm just gonna kind of like, lean into this and honestly let you begin. I would love for you to give, some points of potentially maybe even the worst parts of where you were when you first contacted me, because I really, if there's one thing I want to capture, is I want to capture the level of 180 that happened. And that's going to happen with first us really establishing like where we began, which was honestly ground zero or potentially even below that. And so please do give whatever details you feel comfortable with, list off some points. I want the people to really understand where you came from when it came to meeting me.
Yes, 100%. So basically, I met you exactly a year ago. I think I met you on my birthday, which is in 10 days from now, but that was exactly a year ago. And when I came to you, I was already broken up for about a month and a half. And leading up to that breakup, like, I just want to take like complete accountability for this, that I was the person in charge who kind of caused it, because for almost a year prior to the breakup, I was continuously thinking that this is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And sometime from now, like it just like it will happen in like a few days, this, that, whatever. And before that, we'd obviously been together for 6 years. So the breakup happened. I was completely devastated because it was very out of the blue for me. I was going to like literally move in with him, but then we broke up. And I had so many other plans with him, and then like everything just like went completely sideways when it happened. And I was obviously very devastated. I think devastated would be an understatement, because I refused to get out of bed. I refused to like sleep. I refused to eat. I didn't want to like treat myself with the respect and decency of a basic human somehow, because I think like I just didn't respect or value myself, and I just didn't like see my worth back then. And then fast forward to like I started working with you, and I think when we started, you asked me to like, you explained the entire like manifestation equation to me. Then you asked me to like work on the first part of it, which was the self-concept part, and I didn't even want to do that. Because I was like, that this is a waste of time.
I was literally gonna say that. I was like, I want you to really understand. She was like, okay, like, and she like we joke back and forth, so it's totally fine. Like, I don't take offense to it. But it's funny because later on, she when she realized that I was right, and when she stopped fighting it, she was like, Persis, I'll be so honest with you, and this is just kind of like joking way that we speak together. She's like, when you told me to work on self-concept, you were like, oh, another coach that's gonna waste my time, and I was like, this is so funny, because especially looking at where she is right now, I tell people we gotta build the foundation before we just put walls on the house, otherwise it's gonna crumble over. But please continue. Like, she definitely resisted. She, like I said, she needed a lot of reassurance, which was great because she was a king and queen client. She had like the top premium package to get a lot of reassurance. Her package was able to message me whenever she wanted to, whenever she needed to, and for me to be there and give her that instant guidance, that instant alignment shift, so that we could keep her on track rather than waiting for a week to, you know what I mean? Like, to hear back from me or to have a call every week or something like that. Like, she got the top level package. But please continue.
Yeah, and I think just for context, like before I started working with you, I worked with like almost a dozen other coaches.
Yeah, that was one of my points for later on. But yeah, go for it. Tell them about your experience.
And I think like I heard a lot of like different things. I also like one of them like basically sent me to a tarot reader. The other, like there was another one that sent me to a psychic. And I did like, I think I obviously like came in very skeptical because I didn't have a very good experience with any of them. So that's probably also why when you asked me to do the self-concept work, I was like that I genuinely don't think this is going to work, but either way. So I did like, so I was in personal coaching for almost like a month and a half, and then I did your self-concept experience, and then I also did the, I think I forget what the name was, but the other like counterpart of it.
Yeah, the How to
And
Get Them
I just,
Obsessed with You. She's been in a
yeah,
couple of programs. She's been in personal. She's been in MU. She's really had a very big experience because she's had, like I said, a lot to overcome. Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah, and I think at that point, like by the end of the second program, I think it was like January. So it had been like almost 6 months, and I had heard nothing. Like there was like
Yeah,
absolute pin drop radio silence, like
absolutely.
nothing at all. And I just remember looking back at those days, like I just remember that I was crying almost every day. Like I used
Yeah,
to spiral so much, and I didn't even want to like go out. I didn't
yeah.
want to do anything
I
basically.
remember
Like
because
I
I was
didn't
like,
want
leave
to.
the house. I was like, girl, you gotta take care of
Yeah,
yourself. It's not healthy for your person to literally be your whole life. And I literally like, we were talking back and forth, and I was like, you can't just sit on the couch and knit. Like you can't just sit here and do nothing. And I'm
yeah.
curious also just to pop in for a couple seconds. Were there a couple of things to really help this audience understand? Were there a couple of
Mhm.
statements that he said to you that really made you doubt or question whether this was possible? I know we've discussed this back and forth,
Yeah,
but I'd love for you to give them a
yeah.
little bit of an understanding of how much a relationship was off the table. Like, please, I would love to hear more
Yeah,
about that.
100%. I think like he said like some really mean things, but among all the things that he said, he was like that I will never be in a relationship with you because like I've already made up my mind. My mind cannot change. It has never happened. My mind does not change, is what he said. And he said it like a couple of times to the point where I think I genuinely like believed it like it was
Yeah.
the word of God.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
yeah, like I was like that his mind is not going to change. Why? Because he said so.
Yeah.
Because like he has like, and he said that even if like in the future, like if I want to like be in a relationship, I'll definitely not be with you because we've already had like such a huge history. I don't want to like prioritize you over my friends. Like it was just a lot of like he gave me basically a giant laundry list of all the reasons on like why he thinks that this is never going to work out and why he thinks that I like he's never going to like come back. And even when he was leaving, he was like that don't have like any kind of hope that I'm ever going to reach out to you. So when everything was silent and I was not getting any contact and I was not getting any movement, I almost like kept on reiterating those beliefs, but it's like a cycle because I reiterate those beliefs and then they played out,
Yeah.
and then I reiterate them and they played out, and it was crazy
Yeah.
because this entire time I was like that I don't know how this is happening because I'm just sitting here and I'm doing like my affirmations
Yeah.
3 times a day, but this is not happening. But I think in hindsight, I do understand that I think like yeah, part of it has to do with like saying your affirmations out loud or like doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. But another part of it is to really just genuinely accept that the new version of yourself is who you are. Like that's it. Like
Yeah. There's no other version of you. The past doesn't exist. And that's something I tell myself all the time whenever I'm struggling, is like, you're new in every moment. Like, who I am at 11:21 in 10 seconds is not who I am at 11:21 and even 11 seconds. Everything is a choice of whether we want to bring it into the present moment or not. Do I want to pick up this metaphorical rock that's holding me back and holding me down? Or can I release it and drop it and choose to create like a new version? Like, who I am like a minute ago is not who I am right now. I'm always brand new. I'm always brand new. And it's based on my conscious choice as to whether I want to bring things that are disempowering into the present moment or whether I want to let them fall back. So I love that. I love that so much. One of the things that I wanted to mention is it took her a long time to get behind her self-concept, because so much of her self-worth when her relationship ended was wrapped up in him. However, I do want to give a little bit of extra backstory, which I don't know if we mentioned or not. This man did previously, like in the very beginning of the relationship, he was very enamored by her. But it was due to her own self-concept, like fears, gaps, problems, however you want to put it. The inadequacies that she felt internally, that she believed, even at that point in time when he was telling her, that's ridiculous. She persisted in that story, and she kind of almost, I would dare say, and correct me if I'm wrong, at the point in time after like everything had hit the fan, I think you expressed to me at one time, or maybe even a couple times, like, why was he not able to kind of like, how do I put this? Like, why was he not able to kind of like do more than what my self-concept allowed? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you remember those conversations where you were like, I wish he could have it was almost like she wanted, not that she wanted it, but it's just where her identity was, like her self-concept. She wanted him to do more than what her self-concept indicated. And how many times have we all felt that? I mean, I know I have felt that, where I'm like, I want you to do more for me than what I believe. But even when that was happening, before she was fully persistent and believing in those negative limitations, he was actually encouraging her. But it fell on deaf ears because she didn't see herself that way. She wasn't in her goddess energy of knowing she's amazing, incredible, wonderful. And then later on, when things hit the fan, she was like, why wasn't he able to do more for me? And it's like, well, technically he was. We just persisted in the wrong story. And that takes some isolation and time alone to really build yourself back up. Because at the end of the day, when we have the support, but we're not able to fully receive it, it usually means like some part of us just actually believes the limitation. And when she actually believed it, and there was no amount of reassurance from his side that was able to circumvent the situation. So then we had to start and build from the ground up. And that's what we did. We wanted to make sure that, I always reference manifestation like a house. We wanted to start from the foundation. We wanted to build a really strong foundation before moving on. And the two biggest things that were, I think, your hindrances, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts if you would agree with me, is the self-concept first, obviously. And then when we moved into changing how you saw him and trying to eliminate the trauma, the pain, the aches, the heartaches, the words that he said, because she very elegantly phrased it. His word in her mind was like the word of God. It was unmovable, it was unshakable. And that presented us a lot of resistance for a long period of time. And I would just sit in that background and I would just be like, but this is the reason why that's invalid. And I would give her all the reassurance to let her come back into herself and to rediscover her power and to show her all the movement that was happening and to remind her how other people around her were also wanting to propose to her and be with her. But she was very stuck on this gentleman. So we continued to persist with this gentleman. And everything starts with your concept of how you view yourself. And that's what I like to call these days stepping into your goddess energy. Because it's really just coming home to who you are and who you've always been. You just kind of lost that little bit of magnetism that allows this to happen more organically, more naturally, more effortlessly. And then I can know I'm amazing, but if I also know, pardon my French, that like men are crap or women cheat, or she can't change, or he can't change, or there's no good men available, or all I do is attract emotionally unavailable people, or people don't want to commit to me, that's also not going to help. You need to be able to have everything flowing in unison. And one of the things that we did in the programs, in personal, in MU, was we made sure that she was very 360 balanced, so that her universe could start to work for her rather than her feeling like she has to do so much. Because even during the times that she was doing the most with other coaches, she was not getting a result. And it's because the exact blockages in her subconscious mind were not being pinpointed, showed to her, and then given strategies to dissolve. When those blockages started to dissolve one by one, and it did take time, absolutely it took time, she started to experience a reality that she previously only dreamed of. And it goes to show that like our 3D can load, that's what I call it, as quickly as our assumptions load. And a lot of times what we need to get those assumptions to load is just a lot of support. It's a little bit of coaxing, even sometimes. It's honestly just convincing you to believe more in the truth than in the limitations. And being in close proximity was super helpful. And I'm curious to hear how I helped, how coaching with mom helped. Like I want you to give people an idea of how this support really helped you.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I would say that was basically all of it because when I started, I didn't even know like what some of my limiting beliefs were.
Yeah.
And I remember that there were these long conversations, like really, really long text conversations, or even over the phone where I would tell you that this is like what I think is going to happen, and it would be the complete opposite of what I want, and you were able to pinpoint exactly like the limiting beliefs, exactly what I need to work on. And I think I'm someone who does not like to work with ambiguity. Like there are people who are good with that, but I'm not like that in my professional life either. Like I want very clear instructions and I'll do it, but I want those like clear instructions. And I think one of the things that I love about coaching with you and with like your mom is that I got like very clear instructions. Like I was not getting vague knowledge from you guys. Like I wasn't hearing that, oh yeah, just get over it, or just like write this 55 times a day. Like I wasn't getting any of the nonsense bullshit. Like it was just very straightforward, very helpful. And I think because I was doing personal coaching with you, I was able to like reach out to you every single time I spiraled. Every single time, like, and I spiraled a lot, I think, for up until I think almost May of 2023. Like, so from October of 2022 to May of 2023, I think I spiraled almost once a week, if not every day. And I had the ability to just reach out to you, and you were very kind and very patient. Especially patient, because I think you have repeated the same exact concepts to me, not once, not twice, not thrice, but maybe like for some of them, like maybe at least 50 to 100 times, and very patiently. Like I have asked the exact same questions of you, like 6 months in, that you probably answered in the first call itself, and at no point did I feel like you're getting annoyed by me, or like or I never felt discouraged. I never felt like I am being too much. I never felt anything like negative, basically. Like the only thing that I've felt from your end is not only encouragement, but I also felt like you were personally invested. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I was just like this level of that I want this to happen for you. I'm just not like a coach who's just getting paid and I'll just clock in the hours and I'll just send you like a one size fits all thing to do and I'm out of it. Like I think that's how I felt, at least like at multiple points where I was like that, no, she's like actually personally invested in this. Like she wants me to win, she wants me to do that. And I will say this, that when you're at a very like low point in your life where you don't think that you're ever going to be able to recover from it, you actually need just one person. Like, that's it. Like, just one person to believe in you constantly and be there for you and constantly tell you that it doesn't matter. Like, they want to see you win.
Yeah.
And that's all the encouragement you need in order to, like, you know, put one step in front of the other and keep going. So, and that's what you like did for me. So I was like super, super helpful. I would not be able to like do this by myself. That I just want to like say that out loud, that I have to like give credit where it's due, and you deserve all of it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel like if there's one thing, because that's such a kind thing to say, I really like receive that, and I really appreciate it, because I was so invested, and I think we're all invested in our clients, like me, mom, dad, everyone. Like, we are people. I feel like if there's one statement that could summarize our personality, is we want to see people win. You said it very elegantly. It's like, if there's one thing that if you've been following me for a while, sometimes I even post on my stories, and I'm probably the most how do I say active on things like TikTok and Instagram. Those are my favorite ones. There are times where I would film like little stories of maybe like dad on a call with a client, or mom on a call with a client, or I'm on a call.
Without permission?
No, like I'd be in the room, remember? Yeah, and like as an example, one of the things that really comes to my mind is you had a client a while back who had not lost weight for like 8 years and was struggling with her body image. And I remember being on the couch, and it was the end of the night, and I was like, I'm just exhausted. I'm tired. I am mentally spent. And she's like, I just got to go do a call, and then we can watch the Food Network. And I just remember this conversation this evening as clear as day. And I'm just going to take 2 seconds explaining this, but like all I heard from my mom's end, because these walls are paper thin, is like, oh my God, you're kidding me. Oh my God, you're kidding me. And you know me and my nosy self. I'm like, I need to understand what's happening now. Like, I had a rough day.
Yes, your nosy self.
I had like 10 different clients. As I've been in back-to-back meetings, like I'm exhausted. I need to emotionally recover from today. But what does my nosy butt do? I put my lazy boy chair recliner footrest thing down, and I go and march into the room, and I'm like, tell me everything that's happening right now. And mom puts it on speaker, and this woman was just honestly emotional and moved to tears that like after 8 years of her struggling with her body, her image, her being on every diet known to man, her working.
I don't even know.
I think she worked with other people as well, but she wasn't able to be successful before finding us. Like she had dropped weight, her skin had cleared, some other parts of her bone structure. Like she had really done a wonderful like physical glow up. And not only was it a physical glow up, but the physical glow up happened because of the mental self-concept glow up.
And she manifested money.
Yeah, and she manifested money. And I remember just like, I was like, I'm going to just make a quick story about this. And I used it as a teaching point to be like, we care so much about our clients. Like our job is to put them on the pedestal when they don't see it in themselves. And we are those parents, those happy parents, or those best friends that are literally at like your graduation ceremony being like, that's my client right there. And we're like making all the noise for them. And we are really helping them see the truth of who they are before they can even see it. Because I know you're amazing. I know you're competent. I know you're capable. I know you're intelligent. I know your will and your desire for more. We're just going to help you get on board with this more and more and more every single day. Activate that God or goddess energy every single day. Make you know that you are $1 million woman, $1 million man, and walking with that sense of pride and confidence so that you can literally become a walking magnet. To be able to change how you see yourself and how you see the world is really the key to having an incredible, incredible life. And if there's one thing that would summarize us in a statement is like, we have so much pride in what we do. It really makes us happy for people to come and be like, you've literally changed the trajectory of our lives. Like, and I hope you feel even a small bit of that, even if it's by 10%, because we really put our heart and soul into it, and we want every single person to win. That is our goal. That is what we feel like our job, and we take our job very seriously. And I hope you felt that even by like 5%, because I have been waiting for this success story for a long time. I've been waiting for this success story, and as soon as I got the picture, and I can't show it with you guys, but that's okay, I saw it, of the ring and everything, I was like, Pixar, it didn't happen. And we were just like joking back and forth, because it's like, you become friends, with your clients. You have that special bond, especially ones that you work with for longer periods of time. I have people that come into year-long packages, 6-month packages, because they just see that the work works pretty instantly. And so they're like, I'm not going to let this woman go now. And I hope you felt that. I hope you felt that from us, because we have been invested in you for a minute. And when we got this message, I remember Mom coming into our game room and being like, guess what happened? And I was like, what? She's like, you didn't see your message? I was like, no, Mom, I'm trying to relax at the end of day. She's like, guess who got engaged? And I was like, shut up. Yeah. Shut up. No.
I actually had to read it twice.
I was like, shut up. You know what I mean? It's like a Freaky Friday moment. It's like, shut up. I'm like, stop it. Don't do this to me. Don't be playing games with my heart right now. And it was just such an incredible experience. And we glow. We glow for our clients' success stories, but I wanna move into a different question, and I'm curious to see your answer. Obviously, I know you've been through like a dozen different coaches. You've spent God knows how much. I think you said a few thousand, or maybe even 10,000 on coaches. I'm not really sure how much it's been.
Yeah, I think at this point it's probably more than that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to count, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I especially right now, like I feel really bad. I wasn't feeling as bad about it earlier, but like now in hindsight, I feel really bad about the sheer amount of money that I spent on everyone else.
Listen, it was, I hope, and that's kind of where I'm leading into my couple next questions, is like, would you recommend me to another? Do you think that I am competent, capable, educated enough to help people with overcoming their obstacles? Because the next goal for myself is I want to be working with women who, you know what I mean, who want to manifest an amazing man. And I would dare say, although we haven't heard this part of the story yet, that your man has really stepped into his masculine, almost provider energy type of man. And I want to help more women understand that you can have a man who is, emotionally present, who is mentally present, who spoils you, who pays attention to you. And I want to work with those individuals. I want to help people in all areas of life, whether it's blowing up their business like how we've done, whether it's doing the appearance changes. So I'm curious, money, yeah, exactly. How was the quality of coaching with me? Would you be able to confidently say that, I can help other people in this process?
I mean, I mean, you know this. Like, I am your biggest cheerleader. I'm your PR team. Yes, 100%. I think. So I've obviously been through many coaches. So I feel like I do have some level of credibility when I say this.
Yeah.
That I think your coaching, and I can speak for myself, is what I benefited the most from. Like, I would not be able to do this without your coaching, and I want to make that very clear to anyone that's hearing this right now. And I think my only regret always was that I didn't find you first. I had to go through everyone else before I found you.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure, because the thing is, sometimes people are just going to invest in other. I don't see it as spending money. I see it as investing money, because you get the returns on it. But so I see that a lot of people want to go for coaches who have shorter coaching packages, or don't or the ones that don't cost as much or whatever. But I'm just going to say this, that you get what you pay for. So it's everything that you give to your clients, or even in group programs, is very much worth it.
Yeah.
I'm not I have become a different person, right, because of it. It's not just getting to this end point. I'm just a completely different person now. I don't even relate to who I was a year ago, to the extent that I think leading up to this call, I was really trying so fucking hard to remember what were the thoughts that used to go through my head.
Who was that person?
That's how little I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of it, and I'm being honest. I don't even say it in an arrogant way. I genuinely could not recall a lot of things. Like I was blanking out.
That's so
Um,
good.
and yeah, and so is he. Like oh my God, don't even like get me started.
Yeah, no.
because-
Let's go there. I was just gonna say, because we do have a comment that says we want to hear the rest of her story, how he came back in, everything, where he is now, like behavior wise and everything. So let's move in over there. So I think this is the perfect transition, because I know when me and you talk, we just get excited and we go into 10 different directions. But obviously, we want to hear like what's happening right now, how things have progressed. I don't even know parts of this story so far, so I'm excited. Wherever you want to hop into, like, please take us through the journey.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to start with June. So
Okay.
if you remember, like he had reached out randomly in June after like almost 9 to 10 months of absolute radio silence. Like he had quote unquote accidentally called me, and then that accidental call like turned into, he was like that, oh, like just you should just come over for this weekend. And because I was in like such deprivation of any kind of movement from him, I saw that and I ran with it. I was like, yeah, I'm taking like the next fucking flight out of here. I'm going to be there in the morning.
Okay.
And I think you remember this, that I visited him, and it was not good at all. Because literally the moment I walked into his place, he was like that, yeah, I just want to like make sure that you know that I'm not like looking for a relationship. And and he reiterated basically everything that he said at the time of the breakup, plus more. And I felt so bad. Like I instantly felt, I was like that all this time, everything that I have worked on is out of the window, because like clearly this is not working. It has not worked, and it is not going to work. And I had like so many thoughts that came up during that time. And I remember like even then, you like I remember messaging you. I don't think I was on a coaching package at that point in time, but you did prioritize my call. And even when I was there, like I was in the middle of this whole like shit show unraveling in front of me, and you prioritized my call, and we spoke for a good like 90 minutes, both you and Mrs. Kim, like, and I was so touched by that, because again, like that is what kind of motivated me. That call was what motivated me. I was like that, you know what, I think I'm done with this. Like, why am I getting so hurt by looking at this version of him when I don't want any part of it? I don't want any of it. Like, do I want to like be with this person? Because at that time, he was broke. He had lost his job. He was living like in a state where I would not like want to be with a person like that. Like he was in a significantly worse state than when we like parted ways. And I saw right in front of my eyes that I'm getting hurt by a version of this person that I don't even want to be with. I don't want any part of it. Like I'm not missing out on like, you know, anything right now. So then I came back. I assembled myself, and I was like that, you know what, I'm just like, this is a choice that I have to make every single day, and I'm not going to accept anything less than what I want. I'm going to keep making this choice. I'm going to refuse to give up. I'm only going to focus on the version of him that I want. Like I'm literally letting everything else go. I'm going regardless of the circumstances. I'm not going to play ball with the 3D. I'm not getting stuck. And I don't need to listen to anything that he's saying, because this is not even the person that I want. Like, it's not like, I don't, like, I remember coming back, and I remember this conversation with my younger sister. I was like, but do I really desperately, like, I'm sitting on this couch and crying over this person who is living his life as if, like, it's just hanging by a thread, essentially. Like, what is going on? Like, I cannot, like, as someone, I am so accomplished, I am so intelligent, I am so smart, I am so beautiful, and everything is like, I'm such a kind person, so giving. Is that what I need to like cry about? Like that was insane to me. I think that entire trip to his place, as much as I hated it in that moment, I think that's exactly what I needed. It's exactly what I needed to like understand that there is no like missing out, because before that I was very anxious. I was like, there's no movement, there's no this, there's no that. And I will say this, that because I kept on focusing so much over the movement happened, but I still ended up with the same version of him because I didn't focus a lot on changing who he was as a person in my head.
We did not change a ton at that point in time. At that point in time, we were just doing self-concept work, and the movement was flying. Men were wanting to propose to her, be with her. That was fine. But now, in case, Mount Kilimanjaro of self-concept wasn't difficult enough, now we have another mountain behind it, which is changing our viewpoint of him. And letting go of the stories, processing the pain, seeing him differently, which this is why I say people who are stuck on a person, which is totally fine, you just got to be able to have a different level of strength, because it's going to be 10 times easier to let that person go. Otherwise, you have to process all that past. You've got to still see the person better when they're acting a little shitty, pardon my French, when they're acting poorly, when they're treating you poorly, when they're disrespecting you. And that's different level strength. That's different level strength. And she had that strength, and we had to have that conversation a couple times that, listen, girl, we can either have our limitations or we can have our results, but we can't have both. One of them is going to have to go. We're going to have to put it in the shredder, and we're going to have to shred one of them. And if you want these results, this is definitely what we're going to need to do. And we don't need to do it overnight, but we're going to do it bit by bit. And the more you can get your mind familiar with it, I remember I told you, I gave you my SpongeBob analogy. I was like, we've practiced the old story of, I'll just say A, with our right bicep, because I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use this as the dominant bicep. This is going to be the old story bicep, and we're like, 4,056, 4,057, 4,058. And then we went all the way up to being like 10,000. And we've got this like bulked bicep. We are jacked. We've got the SpongeBob, you remember like his real jacked moment where we got the arms, bro. But we just have it on this side, and it's because all we've done is practice the old story. And it's like, now we're going to take the dumbbell and realize that, okay, we're jacked here, but we're not jacked here. We're uneven. And a lot of times you can dissolve a lot of resistance just by doing this, switching the dumbbell over here and starting to practice here. Because I said this in yesterday's live, neuroplasticity. You love the geeky, nerdy science stuff, right? Neurons that fire together, wire together. And what you don't use, you lose. That's exactly what she's describing here. She can't even remember who she was. She can't even remember those memories. He doesn't even remember those memories. And it's because what you don't use, you lose. A lot of people want to use this bicep and then do this at the same time and wonder why the 3D's not working. You need to completely let that go. You can't practice the old and practice the new and then get a result, because what's more dominant? This bicep will never be able to grow at the same rate this has. You have to stop with this and just focus on this. And she said so many elegant things of what she did. She's not going to play ball with the 3D. She's going to make a choice to decide this every single day. She said so many good things, honestly. You'll have to watch back the playback for that one. But at that point in time, we just haven't done enough of our left bicep curls to be able to have him be better. And I remember on that call, I was so unbothered. I was like, I ain't even worried. I was like, I'm not even worried. I was like, I see these little piddly problems as not even problems. And for her world was like collapsing. She was like, Persis, I don't understand why this hasn't moved. And I was like, I could tell you exactly how it doesn't move. Like, I could tell you exactly how. I could draw you a Venn diagram right now, girl. I could tell you exactly why. And it wasn't to discredit her. It was to show her that, like, we haven't even done the other half of this. So obviously, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much you believe he's a lover boy right now, like Drake, I mean, the answer is 0. So obviously, like, there's nothing else to expect. I was like, I'm confused as to how you're confused. And I was just, once again, trying to make light of the situation because I knew we weren't done. I could see the bigger picture for her, and I laid it out for her again and again and again. And once again, I held that space for her. I helped her believe in herself before she could have that belief. And then what did she do? She said it very elegantly. Now I see in hindsight, that's exactly what I needed to move forward and to be able to really buckle down and do this work. So please keep going. I don't mean to interrupt, but that was just so good.
No. That was so very good explanation, because that's exactly what I was doing. I was like reiterating like what he said in the past, what he did in the past, and this and that. But I think like after that trip, I was like, I'm done with like all these doubts.
Yeah.
I am not a lapdog. I'm not a doormat to anyone. I know exactly what my worth is. I know exactly what I deserve. And I'm done being the person who just like sits on the sidelines and watches like everyone else get exactly what they want. I am not going to stop in the middle of this process again. The only way I lose if I quit. And I remember that like when I wouldn't call it like restarting, but after the trip, I was like that if giving up is tempting me, like metaphorically, like when my legs give in, then I shouldn't even like fucking begin. Like this is like if I should not even bother taking the first step, because I'm ready to turn this whole situation around 180 degrees, and I'm going to keep going. I'm not afraid of what's going to unfold and unravel from this like stupid version of him and what he's going to say, because it's not even what I want. Like I was just, and after that point onwards, like I saw like almost every 10 days, like he would just call me and he'll be like that, yeah, do you want to just like kind of hang out with me? But like I'm just going to be a friend. I don't want a relationship, and I don't want this and I don't want that. I was like, no, I'm done with that. Like I know exactly what I want and I know my worth. And I also like set that boundary with him. I kept on reiterating again and again. I was like that I am only interested if this is exactly what you give me. And I gave him like a whole list. And even then I remember I sent him this one message that I thought was extremely strongly worded.
Yep.
And I remember coming to you, Persis, and I was like, okay, did I like push this man away? Because I didn't hear anything after that from him. And I was very worried. I was extremely worried, because I was like, did I do something wrong? But I remember you told me, you were like that, no, you just like stood in the version of yourself that you are right now, and like how you've changed, and he's going to like take this almost as an opportunity to like up level himself. And I couldn't even like 100% believe in that, because I genuinely believed that I have fucked this up, because I decided to word it so strongly.
And it was not even strong. It was not even strong. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. At that time, it felt like really huge, because she had never talked to him that way before. She had never talked to him that way before. So for her, it was a little bit of mental intimidation. It was a little bit of mental intimidation that she was like, I mean, I think I messed this up. Was this too strong? And I'm like, no, you're just standing in your 2.0 self-concept. You're just standing in that.
Yeah. So fast forward to like August now, like it's end of August. So there was that message. Didn't hear from him at all. End of August, I like resigned from my previous job. And then I was like, but I'm just going to take a break. I'm just going to vacation. Like this whole, like everything has gone to shit for like way too long in my life. And I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. And I'm just going to like just go out of state. I was in California. He lives in California. I was there for a while, and I was like that I'm just going to vacation. I'll just go to a few beaches. I'll go to like amusement parks, do things that make me happy. I just genuinely want to relax, and I'll come back to this whole like thing maybe in a few weeks from now. And I was relaxing. I was vacationing, and I just want to like put this out there, because a lot of times like what I've seen and what I have done is that I just wanted to sit on my couch and wait for him to just show up. And I was like, that's when I'm going to start living my life. That's when I'm going to start like, doing things that make me happy, because up until that time, I'm not going to give myself the permission to like go on and live and enjoy the other parts of my life. So I was vacationing, I'm chilling, and he called me. He was like that, he called me, and this is like end of September. He was like that, I'm sorry because I felt like I mistreated you when you were here in June. Like when you were visiting me in June, and I was extremely rude to you, and I should not have said the things that I said and done the things that I did. And I like saw on your Instagram stories that you're in the Bay Area, and I just wanted to see if we can meet up, if I can just take you out for lunch or something, just to apologize for my behavior back in June. And I also got a new place, by the way, and I would love for you to visit this place. And I remember even at that point, on that call, I told him, I was like that, he said that I want to take you out for lunch. And I was like, in what capacity?
In what capacity? What is your intention, sir?
Yeah, I was like, in what capacity? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm not your friend, bro. I'm not your friend,
bro.
I am not trying to be either. And there are a lot of people out here who are dying to take me out on a date and who would do anything to do it. So I'm telling you, and because I was genuinely in that state at that point where I had convinced myself that I deserve very good treatment, and if he is not going to give it now, I'm going to give someone else the opportunity to do that, because I cannot gatekeep myself and all these amazing things that I have to offer in a relationship and everything that I bring to the table. So basically I said that to him. I was like that I'm not going to do this. I'm not trying to be friends with you, and I hope you understand that. And he was so shocked.
Yeah.
I remember even on the call when I said that, he was like, what? And I remember him just going, what? I was like, yeah.
I have men trying to take me out. There's a line out the back. There's a line out the back. Listen, it's put up or shut up, bro. What do you want? What do you want? I got options. So you're gonna have to bring something strong to the table.
And I was no longer scared to not have him back. I will say this. I was like that, good for you. You want I am the best thing that can happen to you right now in your life. I am the only thing that can probably fix your life right now. But if you don't want it, that's on you. That's on you. Good luck with that. And and then we sort of ended the call, and I remember him asking, he's like that, can you give me time to think? And I was like, well, it's been a whole year that you've had, but I can give you maybe 3 to 4 more days. But after 4 days, do not reach out to me after that. I'm going to block your number. I'm going to block you from all my social media. You're not allowed to re-enter my life. This is not a fucking hostel.
This is not a revolving door. Yeah.
Yeah, that you can just
enter my life whenever
come
you want.
Come in, get out. I'm not looking for a fucking date. If you want to be with me, then be with me. Otherwise, get out and let someone else take care.
Let someone else take your spot.
Stop. And I said that, and I just hung up. And I remember I hung up, and
I wish I was there, because I would have been in the background. Sorry, I'm just interrupting for 2 seconds, but how many people on this live right now are going, oh, everyone is just kind of flipping out, because that's such a bomb ass situation. That's such a mood, that's such a vibe. This is the type of goddess energy, God energy that I'm referring to. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference from crying over a situation to being listen, in what capacity are you trying to take me out? I'm not your friend, and I'm not trying to be. I have men here trying to take me out. You've had a while to step up. It's basically giving serious inquiries only. We have a girl named Nicole saying serious inquiries only. Stop! I can't take take it. And so it's crazy, right? It's crazy that, the level of shifts that occur. And it's like, listen, it's put up or shut up time, basically, at this point in time. Here's your time frame. Crazy. Please keep going. Please keep going.
Saying on that call, he was like that, are you not afraid to lose me? And I was like, no, you should be afraid to lose me. You should be very afraid, very scared to death right now that you're actually going to like fucking lose me in 3 days. Like, you're never going to hear from me again. And I told him, I was like that, like, I'm telling you this right now that you're never going to find someone like me either, because it does not exist. Yeah. It's not going to exist, and you're going to regret this decision for the rest of your life. So think carefully, and I am good with whatever. Like, I am perfectly fine, because I'm going to have a good life, whether you're here or whether you're not here. So it's on you. Like, I want to share that good life with you, but you don't want it, then I'm not going to sit here and waste my time.
Yeah, and beg and cry and get you to love me. I'm not going to sit here and convince you of my worth. You should be afraid.
I think I was kind of annoyed in that call, which is why I think I don't talk like that. I'm a very like sweet and kind person. Yeah. In general.
No, but I love it.
But I was so fucking done with him. I remember I told him, I was like that I'm not going to sit here and explain this to you. You know why? Because bees don't like waste their time explaining to flies why honey tastes better than shit. Like, if you want shit, then go like have shit. Like, I'm not like going to be here.
Say that again. I'm not going to sit here. Wait, I need this line. Hang on. Say that one more time.
That I'm not going to like wait here and waste my time and like explain to you like why I'm better.
No. That was not the line. Explaining to flies. I'll help you out here. Explaining to flies why honey is better than shit. Stop. Stop.
Because I was like, don't you see it, bro?
I need this tattooed on my body.
Like, I was like, you can't see it. That's not my problem. Your inability to see my worth is no longer a challenge for me to prove it to you. That's on you, bro. Like, you don't want it? Good. Like, I'm going to move the fuck on. Like, I'm ready. I just like need that confirmation, and you have like exactly 3 to 4 days, and you can like just let me know whatever it is. And I hung up, and like 4 days later, I think. So he contacted one of my friends that I was staying with, and he asked for the address, and 4 days later or 3 days ago, I don't even remember if it's the weekend, and he drove over. He drove all the way over. He lives an hour away from where I was, and with a giant ass bouquet of orange flowers, because orange is my favorite color, and he remembered that. Orange flowers and a sorry card, and he showed up, and I remember my friend, like, she opened the door, she's like, well, someone's here to see you. And I saw him. I still asked him, like, he's all like nicely dressed up, and he has this bouquet of flowers in his hand, and like I can see like a like cute little like sorry card. And I looked at him, and I'm like that, I hope that you're not here to like extend a hand of friendship, because I do not want to be friends with you. Yeah. I'm just saying this again and again that I'm not interested in being friends. He's like, oh, no. Like, I'm not here to like be friends either. Like, I genuinely just wanted to like, I was wondering if like, it's okay if I can like take you out for dinner tonight, and that's it. Like, and maybe we can have like ice cream later if you want. And I looked at him, like I gave him a good like look from head to toe, and I was like, if that's fine, I think we can go out for dinner. I have not had food yet. I'm also hungry. I was still kind of angry, but I didn't want to,
ruin
completely like turn down his offer. I was like, okay, I see the effort. And then, so I got ready, and I'm just going to say this, that I have known him for almost almost like 7 years at this point. He has never done this. He has never like brought me any flowers, never bought me any cards, never like driven from anywhere to like pick me up. Like he didn't even used to pick me up from the fucking airport when I used to visit him. So I was kind of shocked, but then we went on dinner and he was just like, it was a different person. I don't know how else to say it. It almost felt like I'm with a different person. Like he was just so like calm and composed and kind and just like normal for once. Like he was not being an absolute idiot. And so we were at dinner and he's like that, I've been like really thinking about what you said the other day on the phone and how these like past like few months have been. And I think like I do agree with you that I agree that like I am missing out on a lot in my life. And I thought a year ago that after leaving you, like everything will be nice and happy. And it was for a few months. I was hanging out with my friends and I was going on all of these road trips and I was doing this and I was doing that. But what I've realized is that if you're not in my life, then none of it matters anyway. Like it's all meaningless and I can't like find the peace or find what I'm looking for without you. Because I think I'm trying to like look for you everywhere and I've been doing that and I can't find it. But I think it's time that I let go of my ego and let go of my arrogance and accept that like it's just like I fucked up. I fucked up by letting you go a year ago, and for the past 3 days that's what's been weighing on me, that I will fuck up once again if I let you go once again. And I'm just going to say this, I was sitting there, I was like trying to like make my facial expressions look very normal, but internally I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is going on? Like I was ready to move on from you.
Yeah, I was literally ready to be like deuces. And it's funny, one of the comments says he realized ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And isn't it crazy? What did we do, girl? Like, what did we do? I do the Lord's work, and I just want my flowers, okay? I just want my acknowledgement. I do God's work here. And if there's ever a story that people want to know, what does Persis do? You need to tell them she does the Lord's work. Because this is what the Lord's work is all about. This is what I do. I do the Lord's work. We do the Lord's work. It's not just me. Mama Mystery was just as much involved and invested in this situation as I was. It's just that I had her for several months ahead of time. Then I started to offer like a new different type of package where it was like dual coaching, 2 coaches tag teaming your situation. And we have been invested in this. And I didn't even know this story like to the full extent. I only knew from what was happening back in June. So I just want people to know that I do the Lord's work. I mean, my client is amazing, but I just want people to know we do the Lord's work here. We do the Lord's work because this is
off your pedestal, girl.
This is incredible. This is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Were these her affirmations being said back to her? That's a good question. Were you affirming that at that point in time? I know at that point in time you'd kind of really let go, but were those ever a point of affirmations that you were doing? Tell us and walk us through a little bit of what was going through your mind. Did it feel normal and natural? Tell me more about, the details before I cut in, please keep going.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, at that point in time, like I was having such a moment that I didn't even like think about if this is like a deja vu or anything. Like I could not like
process,
remember
makes
anything
sense
at all.
Yeah,
I was in my own zone, and so that night happened, and he was like that. Yeah, I just want to like clarify my intentions with you as you have asked 3 days ago. That I do like, you had asked like in the capacity of what, and he's like that I want you to be a part of my life as my girlfriend not here to like just date. Like I have a full like intention to get married to you, and I just want to clarify that straight up because I know that that's something that's important to you. And he, let me just put that, like he never wanted to get married. Like he just like, he was so against the idea of the institution of marriage that he was just like, he did not want any of it.
Yeah.
So I heard that and I was like, well, that's fine. And because to be entirely honest, like throughout that dinner, I didn't feel like I was getting anything more than like what I deserve. Like I was like, this is what I deserve. Like I'm finally getting it, but this is what I deserve. Like I'm not going to like sit here and just, you know, put him back up on the pedestal for like giving me this. Like this is how I should have been treated, and this is how I'm going to be treated from here, like from this point onwards. So we had that date, and then we started talking again, and we started like going out on dates, and he called my dad. I didn't know about this. He called my dad, and he apparently told my dad, he was like that, you know, I'm really sorry for not being there for her for a whole year and being absent from her life, but I just like wanted to like call you, and I wanted to let you know that I intend to like, you know, marry your daughter because she's so amazing. And that's exactly what he said. He was like that she's so amazing, and I just wanted to thank you and like basically thank my dad and my mom for like, he's like that for raising such an amazing human, and I wanted to ask your permission if it's okay if I ask her to like marry me, and I wanted to make sure that you are a part of this process. And my dad, obviously, I mean, my parents were like, you know, with me throughout on this journey, and so my dad was like that he gave him a hard time. And he asked him like some really difficult questions. He was like that, you know, how do I know that your mind is like not going to change like 6 months from now? Because he's like that I've raised my daughter with a lot of like love and affection, and I don't know if like you can keep that up. Like how do I know this and how do I know that? And he so he said to my dad, I'm just going to like call my SP.
Go for
like XYZ. Okay, like let's say his name is XYZ. So
just call him Bob.
Dad, like,
his name is Bob.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So he just said that, well, I just want you to know that there is no Bob without your daughter. Like there is no part of me that can exist without her. There is no reason, there is no purpose of my existence beyond her. And I just like, this is exactly what I want. I don't want anything else in my life. And so that call happened. I was not aware of that conversation obviously back then because he wanted to keep it a surprise. He then got in touch with my sister and my best friend. He was like that, can you guys like tell me sort of like what kind of ring she wants? Like does she like, is there a certain like, you know, cut that she's looking for? Is there a certain like, you know, metal that she wants or whatever? And so they like gave him some like reference options. He goes and buys the ring. Now this is, I think, last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember. I don't even have a track of dates anymore. But we were in Santa Cruz at the beach, like boardwalk, and I love going on amusement park rides, but I also hate them because they make me like feel super nauseous afterwards. So we're there, and I'm fully like dressed up because I like dressing up, and I didn't like think much of it. I'm completely dressed up. Everything is great, and I've gone on like one of these like really bad rides, and now I am feeling super nauseous. And he was like, that's okay. Like, we don't have to, like, you know, go on, like, any more rides. We can just, like, go and sit on the beach. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, we'll go and sit on the beach. I guess that's okay. And I'm walking towards the beach, and I see this like huge, like, like proposal sign. Like I see this like proposal setup, and I look towards. I'm like, oh, like look how cute that is. Like that is so. Like this is so cute. This is so like beautiful. I wonder like who is going to get proposed today. And we were about to like lay out our blanket, and I remember telling him like, but no, let's not like lay it out here because then we like be in the way of like pictures if they want pictures. So we should like move a little like further away. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Like we can just like move a little further away. But I could sense the like nervous energy. I'm like, why are you so fucking jittery, man? Like, are you okay? Like, do you need water? I know I'm the one who's feeling nauseous, but like, can I help you? Like, what is wrong? But we're like sitting at a distance, right? And then he was basically like that, hey, can you just go and get me like some fries? I want something to eat. And I looked at him, I'm like, that what? Like I am the one who's feeling
I'm sick.
nauseous.
Yeah.
You want me to get up and go get like fries for you? So I gave him that look, but I was like, fine, you know what? Whatever, it's okay. So I went, and when I came back, I remember feeling so fucking shocked because I was looking for him towards the blanket, and my brain had that moment where it's looking at the blanket where he's not there and looking at the proposal sign where he is there, and my brain is trying to like now put two and two together.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening. Like this is not a dream right now. This is like happening for real. Like this is true. He is right there. He's down on one knee, and he's about to like ask me marry him. Like this is just, and then we got engaged. That's what happened after like me. That I still have to like get all of my. He got a photographer. Hired a photographer to like get the pictures, and we still haven't gotten our pictures back. But I'm just going to say it out loud that I'm crying in every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Like there is not like a single picture where I'm not like in tears, and I regret that now because I wish there was like one, but I was so overwhelmed, and I was overwhelmed because I knew exactly like what I had been through.
Yeah. To get
this
to where
whole
you are.
time. To like get to where I was, and it was just like so overwhelming. And I like that night I remember sort of asking him that like are you like sure? Like I don't want to like repeat history here. So I asked him that, and he was like that no, I'm sure. And he said that you exist like a fact in my mind. Like you're a fact of my life. Like it's not a choice, it's not a maybe, it's not like a like that we like think about it and like tomorrow it can change. Like this is a fact. The fact that you exist, like everything else like moves around you, like it revolves around you, and you're like at the centerpiece of it. I'm telling you, when I say that I feel like I'm dating, or like not dating, I'm engaged to like a completely like different person altogether, I mean it. Because I just like, I think like he is out there like getting my jacket dry cleaned, and I came to like my own apartment because I'm going to move tomorrow.
Yeah.
And for the past like 5 days, all I've heard is that, oh my god, like life is so bad without you. It's just been 5 days. He's like, it's so bad. Like I don't think I can do this anymore. Like should I just take a flight? Like do you need help with moving? I'm like, I'm okay, bro. I'm okay. Just chill. That's fine. Like I'll be there in like 4 days. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. Like I can say anything and he'll do it. Like he will do it. Like I know. Like I can just say that, do you want to like can you do a headstand for me? and he'll do it. Like, there is no questions asked.
Yeah.
I remember like one of these nights, I think it was almost past midnight, and I'm like, I think I want ice cream. And the speed at which he got out of bed and got ready, and he's like, yeah, let's go, let's have ice cream. And drove around the city looking for ice cream and finding ice cream. And I was like, what has happened? This is a completely different person. He treats me like I am the only person on this planet that can, like, exist for him. Like, there is no one else.
Yeah.
So here I am. That's my story. And
First of all, I've been holding this in for a while, but what exactly happened here? This is so wild and so crazy. And people in the comments, just to let you know, because I know you can't see it, but like, I hope my manager doesn't see because my cheeks are red. I made a funny little joke. I was like, is anyone else cutting onions right now? Like, people are so moved and touched. Like, I feel like I could like shed a tear, but I'm just not going to be like, I'm not going to be that person. But, like, look at what happened. Look at what happened. This is so night and day different. And it goes to show that the key words are despite the past or whatever has happened to you, as long as you're willing to bring the willpower to view it differently or allow us to help you get better, there is nothing off limits to you. I don't care what this person said. I don't care what he or she said. I don't care what he or she did. It takes an open mind and a willingness to work. This woman did the work. She did the work on good days. She did the work on bad days. She relied on her support that she had got with us. In the meantime, she has basically acquired a mini PhD in manifestation herself because she is in my program that has allowed her to have a wealth of information, to get information from the medical standpoint, from the scientific standpoint, from each and every single standpoint. There's nothing that she did not have available to herself, and that's because this was an investment for her into her future. And towards the end, she entered into like the art of detachment, which I talk about a lot, and she was good with or without. Now tell us to just like, put this off in a bow. Where are you headed now? Like, what's happening? Like, what's exactly happening? I heard something about like, a couple of holidays or something, I don't know, like just curious.
So we're going to fly out of country tomorrow because I wanted to go to the Bora Bora Islands. So we're going to the Bora Bora Islands. I could have said that I wanted to go to the North Pole, and we would be going to the North Pole. It's very funny because I'm like, now I'm scared to like almost say exactly what I want, because even as like, I know that this man is going to do it. Like, I have to be so careful because I can't just say, like the other day I was like watching TikToks, I'm like, oh, I am craving cheesy fries because I saw cheesy fries on a TikTok, and 10 minutes later I had cheesy fries on a plate in front of me. Like, he is so scared to death, man. Like, he is just so scared to lose me. Like, he's like that. I cannot possibly like fuck up. Like, I can't say anything wrong to this girl. Like, I can't do anything. Like, everything has to be perfect. Every single thing has to be perfect. Like, he doesn't even let me sit in a dirty car. Like, in his like if his car is not clean, he goes to the car wash because he like would not even like let me do that. Like, that's like, it's just such a like night and day difference. So we're going, and I'm in like peak like wedding planning mode, which is a different kind of stress, but it's good stress because I'm like trying to figure out what outfits I'm going to wear, like where the venue is going to be yesterday, and then we're going to basically go to India for a few months. But yeah, to plan our wedding. So yeah, here we are. That's it.
I do the Lord's work. We do the Lord's work. This is so crazy. Stop. Okay, honestly, We're almost even at 90 minutes for this success story, but I'm just going to ask you like maybe one or two more questions, and then I'm going to end this on a bow. And if we want to do another one later on, obviously know that you're always welcome here. Any given point in time, you just got to let me know, and we're going to make it happen. But if there are some people in the audience right now listening or who will listen to the playback, what do you have to say to someone who's on the fence of investing in themselves and pulling that trigger and either, getting some of the coaching that you got or the program that you got? Tell me not tell me, but talk to them. Talk to them right now and say, like, what would you give them as a word of encouragement for maybe people who are on the fence, but they're just not quite sure yet? How can you give them that encouragement?
I would say that, like, the faster that they, like, if they're on the fence of, like, getting coaching, I would personally, like, say that means that they actually need it, and then they should just get it instead of delaying it, because sometimes, like, and I've been an athlete like all my life, like there's a reason that we need coaches, because we need someone to, like, step in. Like, you can't teach tennis yourself, like you can't, like, teach yourself tennis essentially. It's the same way, like there are some things like you just, like, need that extra push, and it's always good to, like, have someone in your corner rooting for you and, like, being your cheerleader. And this has been, like, a great investment, because I am a very different person now. This is, like, the way, the things that I scripted about myself, like, they weren't just affirmations to get what I want in hindsight. Like, it's just, like, it's who I am now.
Yeah.
And I was not like this a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't fully remember a lot of it anymore. Which is weird because I have a very sharp memory, but I don't remember the things I used to say a year ago, but I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
So you can attest to it. Like, I'm not the same person anymore, and it has been an amazing investment, because just the way that, like, my life has glowed up. Like, this is just how I get treated by everyone. Everyone treats me like I am, like, the moment I walk into a room, like, I've noticed it multiple times, like, people stop talking. They stop talking in a good way, and they want to, like, listen to me. I'm, like, constantly respected. Everyone, like, values me so much. So if they're on the fence of, like, getting coaching, they should, like, definitely do it.
Yeah, there's definitely options in all budgets, and there's payment plans, and there's so many different ways to get involved in coaching in our world. I will say a lot of what she utilized is Manifestation University. Even the previous programs, like, they've been melded into MU, as well as things like the King and Queen package, personal one-to-one as well. For her, I think probably the most differentiating factor outside of the program being absolutely incredible was, for her, it was super, super important for her to have access to text coaching where she could reach out to me, my family members, whenever she had a problem, she had an issue, she needed something to be clarified, anything like that, to be able to be set on the straight and narrow. A lot of times, if people just had the support, a lot can be accomplished. I will say that, as always, it is a co-creative effort. I can give you all the tools, but if you don't want to change and you're going to sit with your hands on your hips and say, how can I have my limitations and have the result at the same time? I cannot rework the way that the law works to make you more comfortable. I can just give you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different techniques to make you feel more comfortable, and we can go through potent sessions where I align you to the correct energy, like how we've been doing in this challenge, and what you'll get with your day 3 little take-home gift today. But it has to be also someone who's willing to do the work. And I want to just end on it, is that I know that, for some of these programs, they can be investments, but I want to hear from you, was it worth it? Was it worth it?
100%.
Yeah.
It was, like, it's so obvious, right? Like, it's just, like, I
know.
would not be where I am now. It's, like, I genuinely feel like I'm just, like, dating. Oh my god, I keep saying dating again and again. Like,
I know.
myself, I'm
Engaged woman
not
problems.
in that
Engaged woman problems.
I'm like, yeah, I'm engaged to this man who
crazy.
just like looks like him, essentially.
That's the only thing that's in common, though, because he's a whole new man. It's like you're cheating, you know, which in a little funny way. It's kind of like you're cheating, you know?
He's just like in the zone. I'm telling you, he is. My birthday is in 2 weeks, and I know that your birthday is like in about
Monday.
a week,
Yeah.
even less.
It's on Monday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Persis.
Thank you very much.
Basically, he is planning so much, and I know that because he's been like asking all my friends and my parents, and I know it's going to be a very like beautiful, fulfilling birthday. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because last year I was crying.
On my
I
birthday.
was crying till 9 p.m. on my birthday because I was that sad about
remember.
everything that he said.
Oh, I remember those days. I remember those days very well. I didn't know our 1 year anniversary is coming up, babe. You'll have to like message me so that way we can send flowers to each other, you know, because it's a whole vibe. Like you started off the call being like, it's almost our 1 year anniversary. I was like, oh my goodness, like, you know, we've got to send each other some flowers or something because this is just got to be a thing. This is absolutely incredible. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know we could talk for ages. And like I said, anytime you're always welcome. If people want to do a round 2 or if you're open to a round 2, you always have my number and you know where to reach me. But I will let you go. I appreciate your time so very much. I'm so very proud of you. I cannot say it enough. This is honestly, it's exceeded my expectations above, beyond, and more. And Mom is also here in the background. You know, everyone says that they extend their love towards you, and congratulations on your engagement from our side and from basically the whole community that is part of me, because everyone is glowing and gushing for you. I can't wait to see exactly all the things that transpire and unfold. So please keep me in the loop, and I will let you go. You have an amazing rest of your day, my love.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
definitely. Bye.
Guys, this is incredible. And I did see some people who were interested to learn about the program she's in or the personal coaching that she's in. And then some people expressing concern that, like, what if we really, really want to do this, but we're on a really, really, really tight budget? Understand that we have ways to work with us through payment plans. And you'd be surprised to understand, in case you don't know, there are, you know, packages and one-time experiences as little as $149 all the way up into the 3K, 5K range for a deluxe VIP, unlimited everything type of experience, unlimited texting, calls, plans, the whole 9 yards. So there's really a space for everyone, no matter the budget, everywhere in between. And so what I can do, with your permission, please let me know in the comments, is I could potentially drop another post in the group for individuals who are interested to learn about how to work with us one-on-one in all ranges. And we can collaborate together, and I can place you into a package that I think would really serve you based on your budget. But I want to be very, very clear, what she got was Manifestation University. And I will drop the link to that also in the comments below for a strategy call if you're interested to learn more. And I will link it at the end of our challenge as well, that this is what she utilized along with the personal coaching to get her to where she is right now. A lot of people want to know exactly what someone else did, and that is what she did. So if you guys are interested to learn more, I will absolutely make a post. You just let me know. Just let me know in the comments, say Persis, make the one-to-one post, and I will do it. And I will place you guys into the correct program based on your budget. But I also want to be very transparent. The program is probably the best fit for a lot of people, only because it's a long-term program. It's not something where you have one call and that's it. However, if you can only get one call, hi Shrishti, if you can only get one call, I would absolutely recommend you at least get one call to know that you're on track, to know, if you want to get some questions answered, because some constructive criticism is better than none at all. and you need to at least know you're moving in the right direction. And then there are coaching plans and everything that go above that. So I will make a post about it. It seems like Ashley is very interested to understand, and anyone else, I will absolutely, problem solve with you. So Shrishti, thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely adore you, as you know, and I can't wait to see everything that transpires and continues to transpire. You've truly stepped into your goddess energy, and girl, I'm just so, so proud of you, because I've always seen this in you this whole time, and I'm glad that you just see things clearly for yourself, because it's a testament to the hard work that we've both put in and that we've both sacrificed to get to where we are right now. And I just can't wait to see all the amazing things that are going to come from this. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Day 3 doc will drop as soon as I press end to this. And then I will also make a post for those of you guys who may be interested. So have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.